Alright everybody, how's it going? Quancredible here, and this video is actually one that I've wanted to do for a while now. It's about one of my favorite captains, and that would be Charlotte. Now, I've seen a lot of the ranking videos in terms of like who the strongest captains are, and by no means do I think Charlotte is the strongest captain. I just think that she is overlooked, or in other words, like kind of slept on in how strong she actually is. So I'm going to clear all that up in this video. So as we all already know, she is captain of the Blue Rose squad. Now, being a captain of the Magic Knights, we can safely assume that that comes with a lot of the achievements or feats that the other captains have, such as possessing a extremely high amount of mana. Her herself, she has an extreme high amount of mana control. She's extremely skilled in using mana skin. We don't know if she can use mana zone yet. We've yet to see. We may see that in the future, but we do at least know that when it comes to mana skin and mana control and having a large amount of magic, she definitely has those. She uses briar magic, which for those of you who don't know, a briar is like a cluster of thorny vines. So in her case, it would be a cluster of thorny wild roses. At first glance, you would assume this to be weak, but this is a testament to her strength because she makes these essentially plants or thorny vines extremely powerful. Being a plant-based magic, it would be inherently weak to fire-based mana or magic attacks, but she effortlessly handled herself at the Ultimate Volcano. As we can see, her briars casually were fending off mana enhanced lava, but this is all still secondary to how strong she really is. If we go into her noteworthy feats, she doesn't have much that we've seen. She did have a short fight with Raya, but it doesn't mean too much just because they both weren't going all out. However, the fact that she can fight with an enemy that can move at light speeds is extremely impressive. Now, we didn't see the fight in detail, but on the other hand, every time we've seen Raya fight, he always at some points uses his light speed. Granted, this may be a bit of headcanon, but we have no reason to believe that he wouldn't use this ability, since in every appearance he always does. Now for her next scaling feat, it's a bit weird seeing it's currently in the manga. Oh, and this part has manga spoilers, so if you're anime only, this would be your opportunity to leave. She's possessed by an elf. During her fight with Yami, which does give her a massive boost to her current mana, which is already really high because of her nobility on top of being a captain. Not to mention, the elven boost was enough to turn her roses red instead of blue. Now why is this significant? Well, as you may or may not know, Charlotte was cursed as a child. For what reason we don't know, nor is it important to this video. Anywho, Charlotte believed that if she could get strong enough, she could break said curse. However, when she turned 18, the curse went wild. Now, we've seen what it looks like when someone's magic is out of control with Noelle. At the Bull's base in the beginning of the story, Noelle's magic went out of control and it honestly threatened that entire area. Now, when we look at when Charlotte's magic went out of control, it literally threatened not only the area she was in, but the entire town she was in. So with this, it's likely to assume that Charlotte has a magic amount that may even dwarf Noelle's, who has been stated to have an insane amount of mana even for a noble. Now, ever since then, we can more or less assume she's been able to keep that power under control. However, the curse was never lifted. Her roses always stayed blue. She kind of just made the power her own, but the result of this is her magic actually never reached its full potential. Even with her magic still not being fully realized, she was still able to make it all the way to captain status and be an extremely strong and distinguished one at that. Anyway, during the fight, her and Yami exchanged attacks. Now, granted, Yami didn't want to kill Charlotte. He still had no choice but to go all out when the city was in danger of being destroyed. In their final clash with her giant briar attack drill thing, whatever, the Dimension Slash did cut her spell in half. However, it is very important to note that it takes significantly less force to cut something in half than to break it or outright overpower it. The reason I'm bringing this up is because a lot of people assume that Yami was suppressed in this fight or something along those lines, when in reality he was doing everything he could to stay alive. So to say that Yami is much stronger than Elven Charlotte is just false. Now you may be saying to yourself, but this is Elf Charlotte. Actual Charlotte is much weaker. To which I would say you're half right. It's true that Elven versions of fighters have an insane mana boost, which in the world of Black Clover makes you stronger, faster, and have more attack potency, but it also takes a lot of the skills and strategies that the fighters already have. Yami noted during the fight that Charlotte wasn't even fighting like herself, which means that the elf possessing Charlotte wasn't even maximizing her strengths. Now don't get me wrong, I do still believe that Yami is stronger than base Charlotte. However, I don't think that there's as much as a gap as many people are led to believe. He's honestly, in my opinion, barely stronger than she is, like barely. I truthfully believe that she's about as strong as Jack. I see them as more or less equals, since I would consider both of them a rival to Yami. So I consider Jack and Charlotte equals in terms of strength and equal in terms of overall power. Also, I don't really like referring to the guides, but outside of their special category, both of their amounts equal the exact same. They both get a 21 out of 25 if you add up all their amounts outside of their special stat, while Yami is only 1 point higher than both of them. Jack and Charlotte are at 21 out of 25, whereas Yami is 22 out of 25, which I guess according to the guides and in my own opinion makes him just barely stronger. So in short, I guess the duo that is between Jack and Yami to me is more of a trio that should also include Charlotte in the conversation. However, she may surpass them if after all this Elven stuff she gets to keep her power boost, which I think she will, just because Luck got to keep his, since when he was getting ready to fight he had his little lightning horns that he had when he was an elf. So I mean, granted, Luck is the only person that we've seen thus far in the story that has successfully been turned back and has had an opportunity to fight. So granted, there's not much to go off of, but I think, or at least I predict, she may get to keep her power boost. But that's essentially it for my small rant. Just basically saying that people need to put some respect on Charlotte's name, because she's definitely a lot stronger than people are giving her credit for. I definitely think she's up there with Yami. I mean, if a lot of people put Jack in that top 5, and honestly, if that's the case, it should be a tie for the 5th spot between him and Charlotte. But outside of that, that's all I have to say for this one. Feel like I missed anything or have any comments, or if there's any Charlotte doubters still out there, please see me in my comments, because we have a lot to talk about. Because one way or another, you guys need to see the light. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later in my next video. Leave a like and sub if you enjoyed it. Outside of that, I'll catch you guys later.